We're live. Hi, everybody.
Finally.
So, um,
Yes.
just real quick, because we are starting in the middle of an episode this time,
Oh, yes.
which has not been our custom for a while. Um, I want to make sure that everybody is starting at the right place. So we are watching the second half of The Way of the Warrior. And we are picking up roughly where we left off last time, which is, and I have it up here on screen for everybody, at the time code 4253. So when you queue up your copy of The Way of the Warrior, go ahead and pause it at 4253. That should be a black screen right before we fade into a scene with Cisco talking to the others, like in the briefing room. So that's where we're going to pick up. So 4253 into The Way of the Warrior. Get it to that point and pause it, and then that's where we will start when I count us in. And sorry, yeah, I had to refresh the live stream chat on the screen there, Sarah. So it's there now. And by the way, hi Sarah, glad you could make it. And yes, yeah, Oasis, yes,
Great.
the widget was temporarily broken, but I fixed it because I'm so smart.
Steve knows what he's doing. He doesn't panic quite as much as I do.
Well, you know what? You might sometimes panic, but you always handle it. Like you have had technical mishaps, during your live streams, and you you handle it. You always get through the show and you do a good job.
Well, I mean, what is the alternative to handling it? Like death?
Having a
Of
meltdown.
course I'm gonna what?
Death. Well, yeah, I know. Having like a big meltdown.
Well, I do have a big meltdown, and the show keeps going while I'm melting down. Hi, Sophie.
Well,
Hey, Russell.
it doesn't play like a meltdown while we're watching it. It plays like you're having some difficulty, but it doesn't feel like you're about to completely fall apart. So,
Well, like I said, no death. That's my general guideline.
no death is a good guideline. I think that's, you know what? That's the guideline that I live by personally. No death.
I think everyone does.
Yeah,
Because
but
if
it's
they
like a
did,
really,
they wouldn't.
well, but it's like a core principle for me, you know?
Yeah, you don't have your professional tour videos anymore. People might not realize that you're still a professional.
I am a spruce, and yeah, and hey, if more people had watched those fucking things, I'd still be making them, but they didn't. They didn't get all that many views, so I was like, well, maybe I'll try something else and see if people will watch. But which is a shame because I really liked. And I'm not saying I'll never do them again. I mean, if I get ideas for some more, I would love to do another batch of them. But they weren't exactly lighting the channel on fire, so I pivoted to something else.
You what?
I pivoted to something else. Why is that funny?
Oh, Lordy.
Why is it
You
funny that I
pivoted.
pivoted?
It's so 2022.
Okay. Well, it's only just 2023, so I'm not that out of date. Hi, Drama Dork. No, Klingons do not live by no death. I think they are quite emphatic for, I mean, the saying is today is a good day to die, not today is a good day to live.
Well, I mean,
David
but
C. Drake, I like that. Today is a good day to try.
I would agree that they do. And until they don't, and then they don't live by it anymore. They die by it. I'm just saying.
My favorite thing about that is I think that mostly comes from TNG because most of like the Klingon cultural stuff that we know comes from Worf and TNG. And they establish in TNG that Klingons are basically crazy for fighting and they don't mind getting killed in battle and they consider it honorable. And also
Fun stuff.
if they're taken prisoner, they're supposed to kill themselves. Like they're not supposed to allow themselves to be taken prisoner by an enemy until somebody writing for TNG came up with a story that required Klingons to be living in a prison camp. And then they said, oh, well, no, see, in this case, there's an exception, right? And then in Deep Space Nine, not yet, but in a couple of seasons, there's going to be another instance where we encounter a Klingon who has been like kept in a prison camp for years and has been alive this whole time. And the question is, well, why are you still alive? I thought Klingons are supposed to kill themselves. And then Worf steps in and says, oh, well, that's only if there's no hope for escape. As long as there's hope for escape, then we're not supposed to kill. I'm like, oh, okay. So you just add in little details to explain, like, well, what about that
Potato,
guy? He's still
potato.
alive. Yeah. John Collins,
Um,
this is Dana. I assume so. I guess this must be your first time joining us live for a live stream. Yes, this is my friend Dana, and actually, this series was Dana's idea. And the deal is that 1 week we watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which Dana has never seen, except of course for the episodes we've watched together so far.
so far,
Uh,
since the series has been
and
going.
since the series has been going, and then on the off weeks from that, every other week we watch an episode of a show that Dana likes that I have not seen. And currently we are watching Agatha Christie's Poirot, starring David Suchet.
There's a lot
So
more DS9 than stuff you ain't seen.
yes, so we're making so yeah. So next week we're watching another episode of Poirot. This week we're watching the second half of The Way of the Warrior right at the beginning of season 4 of Deep Space Nine. So if you've never joined us for a Deep Space Nine watch along, this is a good place to jump on right in the start of season 4. Um,
What is the time code? Because I had an ad and I'm not entirely sure I'm at the right spot.
it is 42:53, and it should be black. It should be in between scenes.
All right.
Is
So
is it?
tell me about your day.
Well, first of all, is that the right time code? Because remember, before
At
a couple of weeks ago.
42:53, I have a black screen. So
Okay, then I think you're good.
I
Because
I don't
I
know
was
about
just
anybody
worried.
else. I hope it's the
Well,
right
I
spot for
was
all of
just
you guys,
thinking
but it looks right for me.
I was just thinking because like what was it like last week we watched an episode of MacGyver together, and we were both watching Paramount Plus, and for some
Yeah, it
reason
was
like your time
really
code was
weird.
different. But
Yeah.
so it's okay, but it seems like we're both
Yeah. We're
we're
synced
on
up
we're
for this
synced
one.
up.
I have
Okay, good.
no
So yes,
idea what's going on with MacGyver.
42:53, and it is up there on the screen as well for anybody watching. We're going to be starting at 42:53. My day was wonderful. My day was really
I'm so
good.
glad.
Um, I got to go for a little walk this afternoon because it was um it's fourth season ale. Uh, yeah, but I got to go for a little walk this afternoon. Um, I my new Star Trek video came out this morning, which was about the musical instruments of Star Trek, which was fun to do. And oh, thanks, Joe. You watched the last Ask Away. Cool. Um, and yeah, so it was good. And I wrote my video for Monday. That's scripted, so I'll probably shoot that. Well, actually, I probably won't shoot that tomorrow because tomorrow is Star Trek episode review day. So I'm going to do
Yeah,
that
that
first.
well, something else that you've taken on, which I mean, I don't know
Yes.
how you keep up, but I mean, then again, I have a real job, so there's that.
Well, I mean, the
Got to get my digs in.
see last year I did episode reviews of Discovery and Picard and Strange New Worlds as they came out, and I realized that I can because I get I mean I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. My alarm goes off at 5, so I can watch the episode early in the morning, write a review. And again, writing a review, it's a different format. I'm not doing like an in-depth video essay. So it's not going to be like a 30-minute video. It's not going to be like a 15 or 20-page script. It's going to be maybe a 5-page script, just a relatively straightforward review of the episode, my thoughts, some of my, whatever. And then I shoot it just right here at the computer. And last year I was shooting them on the webcam that I'm streaming on now, but for starting this year, I'm setting up my proper camera on my computer desk right over here and just shooting it that way, so it's a better quality image, and also I can use my teleprompter, so I'm looking into the camera when I'm delivering the script, and it's a nicer effect. Um, and yes, and I if I can get it all done in one take or mostly one take, then it's a pretty quick edit, and I can have it up on the channel by late morning, early afternoon, and you know,
Same day.
yeah. So that's the idea: is that they're same day, they're like quick, not quickie videos, but like they're same day videos. Watch the thing, script it,
Write the
shoot it,
thing,
edit it, put
shoot
it
the
up. Yeah,
thing,
yeah. So
share the thing.
yeah, and while I'm and since there's no Star Trek being released right now, while I'm waiting for season 3 of Picard to start, I'm getting back into practice to do that by doing retro reviews.
I'm so sorry.
Uh, and
I mean, not
before
about the
that's the
retro
thing.
reviews, but season 3 of Picard.
Well, I mean, I bet I'm going to be sorry when I'm watching it. But here's the thing, and actually, the next time I talk to Jason, we need to actually work this out because Jason and I are going to be reviewing Picard season 3 together.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So I need to figure out with Jason how we are going to do that. If we're going to like pick a time of day and watch the episodes together at the same time, or if we're going to have the just watch the episode on our own and make sure we have it watched by a certain time so we can get together on
Get
a
together.
Zoom
Yeah.
call, and but yeah, we'll have to work that out. But yes, the idea is Jason and I are going to be doing episode reviews of Picard season 3 together. So I'm looking forward to that.
Because misery loves company.
I remember last year, because where we got the idea for it was Jason's idea. Last year when season 2 was coming out, Jason would call me after he had watched the episode, and he would tell me repeatedly, like every week, he would say, Steve, I'm only still watching this show because I don't want you to go through it alone. And I mean, which is an exaggeration, but it was really bad. It was a rotten season of television. And Jason was like, I'm only still watching this for you. So we decided to do season 3 together. So it'll be cool.
Suffering together.
Yes. Dramador, can I get Paramount to send me episodes early? There are some people who get them ahead of time, but I think like I know Jessie gets episodes ahead of time, but I think she's actually a member of like a critics association. Like she is registered as like a proper critic.
And you, however, are a very improper critic.
Yeah. And also I think by this point, I think Jessie is at least acquainted with some proper Star Trek people. Like she actually has friends who are, involved in the production of the show. So she has some connections that I don't have. But yeah, so the plan is
you. I could actually probably could not introduce you to my cousin's ex-husband's best friend.
who is a grip on the
show.
He's
one of the directors and writers. I don't know if he's still around though.
That's right. No, that's right. He's not involved in it right now. But yeah, he was a writer on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
what was his name?
I can't remember his name. But
was it the other Renee?
It was Renee Echevarria.
Yeah.
Yes, he was like one of the primary writers on Deep Space Nine. Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
we were in my cousin's wedding together.
I was cousin's,
6. My cousin's ex-husband's best friend.
Your cousin's ex-husband's best friend is Renee Echevarria. That is, it's amazing. Yeah.
I didn't know until Mom and I were going through pictures, and she's like, "Oh, don't you do that Star Trek thing?" Yeah, there was somebody from Star Trek in Derry's wedding. I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, he was the best man.
And how long ago was that? Like approximately when was the wedding?
I was 6.
Okay, so it was before he was doing Star Trek. It was like in the 80s.
Yeah, he was doing stuff then.
If you were 6, then it was 84.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm sure he was probably doing. I guess his career had started, but he wasn't. I mean, there were no Star Trek TV shows in '84,
at the time.
So he wasn't working on a Star Trek show then. But yeah, in the '90s, he was one of the, he was one of the main writers on Deep Space Nine. So
yep,
we will be watching episodes that he wrote. We probably
Yep,
already
I've
have.
seen
I
his
just
name on
yeah,
screen,
yeah,
and I was like,
yeah,
"Hey, there we are." I don't remember him at all.
yeah.
I don't remember being in the wet. I don't remember the wedding at all. I don't.
Oh,
Nothing.
so blessed. So blessed to
I,
not
I
remember weddings you've been in.
I will take your word for it. I mean, maybe it was fun.
Fun at the time,
Uh,
perhaps. When you were 6. I'm sure the wedding was a ball when you were 6. What 6-year-old doesn't love a wedding?
yep, I'm telling you, weddings are so much better when you can drink.
They're not that much better.
Well, I mean, at the reception there's food, and you know how I am. I
I know
love
you are
food.
much more you are more easily plied with food than I am.
That is really
255
not saying a whole lot because I mean that
250
that does not express it.
255 AD. I don't know if I'd hate going to watch Avatar 2, but I mean I have no plans to do it. So anyway, before we start the show, Dana, how has your day been? I've been talking
Well,
about myself this whole time.
that's okay, Steve. I mean, it's your channel, so
That's
there's
true.
that. Um, really pretty good. Things seem to be going well with my English class. I'm kind of waiting for things to fall apart because everybody seems to be doing okay. Only about half of them turned the first essay in. About what I expected. So today I put in the incompletes. They're all graded, and I have the scores in my physical grade book, and I have the scores on their rubrics. But I told them essentially those of you who did not get that turned in on time just because you forgot to hit submit, despite the fact that I repeatedly told you, and it says on here, this is when this is due. It's in as a 0 now, just FYI. So go ahead, if it's just follow the late work procedure, super easy. And they're working on research now. They seem to be working. I go around, ask them questions. They can tell me about what they're researching. So that's good. One of them who was researching food and recipes and those sorts of cultural elements from Zimbabwe was talking about, and he said something. He was talking about that it's just a whole bunch of things together. I said, is that like kind of like soup? And he's like, no, it's thicker than that. It's kind of like a porridge. It's like, okay, you got me convinced. So yeah, I was really happy with how things are going there. I had my homeroom students do a survey about what they were learning in their classes. I had 5 of them. Didn't bother. Pizza! And so tomorrow, they're going to be sitting close to me, and they're going to be doing the survey.
Aha.
Mr. I love the ants. Not so much. Usually they just say they didn't do it. Especially since like
The
I said,
cat
I will
deleted
take.
my homework.
Yeah, they're like, they'll just tell me. I mean, sometimes there is a cat who deletes homework. Guess what? It's all in Google Docs, so you just go to the previously saved version. What do you mean there's no previously saved version? Interesting. So and then it was supposed to rain today. It was supposed to rain this afternoon. And then I checked the weather forecast and it said, no, it's not going to rain until this evening. So after school, I went and I lifted, and then I got to go for a little walk too. Yay.
Yeah.
So it worked
I'm
out
so
nice.
glad.
John Collins, I got no idea.
The only thing I know, I think he was he's done some voice acting, and I remember he was on an episode of the revival of the Outer Limits in the 90s. I remember him being in an episode of that.
Do 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 do. That's not it though.
No, that is not the Outer Limits.
Pizza.
That's the X-Files, which I do not
Good
believe
job,
he was
Steve.
ever on. You think I wouldn't recognize the X-Files theme? One of my favorite shows ever.
I mean, you could have had a brain fart. It happens. You're old.
That's true. That's true. And yeah, Sarah mentioned that we're talking about Star Trek shows. Prodigy has Prodigy has an awesome first season. Prodigy's first season was outstanding. I was a big fan of it. As I said in my video, and like it's I think it was episode 8 of season 1 of Prodigy, Time Amok, one of the best Star Trek episodes of any show in the last 20 years. I
which you
mean,
have
it's just
mentioned.
fantastic. Yeah. Yeah,
You
it
have
was
it in
number
your list.
2 in my top 10 list. My top 10 list of best episodes of the new Star Trek shows. It was number 2,
Oh boy.
topped only by the wonderful Memento Mori from Strange New Worlds. What are you?
Oh,
What's wrong?
oh, 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 oh.
What?
So it's
Everything
not the
okay?
one we're watching week after next.
No, no, but that one's on the list too.
Oh
Oh no!
yeah, it's
Oh
on
no!
the.
Oh no! 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 That actually, I thought you were talking about something completely different. No, the one we're watching week after next is The Visitor, which was not on my list because my list was only for new show episodes,
Oh,
not
that's
all
right.
time.
Oh, have you done an all-time one since the new shows have come out?
No, I haven't.
Maybe
But
you
the one we're
should.
watching week after next would still be number 1.
Oh, I was so afraid of
It's
that.
my
Oh God,
favorite. It's
no,
my favorite Star Trek episode ever.
no. And we have Roadhouse coming up too. Oh man,
Yes. Oh, that's another
I
thing.
have.
Yes, I tomorrow on the channel as a little bonus video is the next entry in our first timers and favorites series, and it's we're watching a movie that you picked, which is The
Yes,
Lion in Winter.
so
Um,
good.
yeah, so we have a video going up where we talk about that, and then yes, next month, or I guess later this month, at some point, it'll be my pick, and the video will go up on your channel, and it's a video, it's a
Mm-hmm.
movie that I chose, and it will be Roadhouse.
Oh golly,
God.
I really hope I like these. You guys, I just it feels. I mean, I know Steve is doing his best not to make me feel pressured, but
Of course,
uh,
yes, it doesn't.
James
Yeah,
Captain,
yes,
his favorite.
James T. Kirk joining us in the chat.
So good to see you. You're in great health, it seems.
Yes,
Um,
very. Yeah, well, he just got out of the Nexus,
I see. So yeah,
wound
he's
the clock back a
yeah,
little.
Deep Space Nine, The Visitor. Oh
The
boy.
Visitor. Oh yes, that
Oh
is my
golly.
favorite.
Oh Sarah. Oh,
That is my
is that what?
favorite episode. It's not just my favorite Deep Space Nine episode. It's my favorite episode of any Star Trek show. Period.
Oh
255 AD.
golly.
Yes. Yes. Oh, about the UK political, democratic, and constitutional fuck ups this last year. Honestly, I haven't seen enough about them to have an opinion. So
Oh boy.
I apologize for being poorly informed, but I don't really have any thoughts on it. Um,
I'm confused.
Dromedar. Well, go ahead.
Why do you want them to cry? What's the crying for? I'm
I was just
confused.
gonna say, I guess because The Visitor is a sad episode. Um, I don't want. Here's the thing, and Dana, you know this. You and I have actually talked about this, and you were kind of hung up on it for a while because I said that I think one of the like if a show or a movie or a story or whatever can make you cry, that's like a sign of high artistic achievement because you have touched somebody in a very deep personal place. You have evoked like you know
Uh-huh.
a very strong response from them. Um, so like when something makes me cry, like because it's so good, because it touches me that deeply, like that just means I love it. Like it doesn't upset me. It doesn't bother me. Like I'm grateful for it. It's a wonderful experience to be that moved by a piece of art that it actually, pulls that emotion out of you. Like that's a wonderful thing. So the Avatar comment. Let me go back and find that 250. I really loved the first Avatar as a kid, and I almost
I
didn't
think
decide to see
oh
the
the
new
other
one
one.
because so many people you involved have told me it's bad. But I can. Well, I mean, look, if you enjoyed the first one, then that's great. I didn't, so I hope you have a good time when you go see it. I hope you have a good time. Hope you like it. Um. So
David
yes,
Portman, I'm aware of it, but I really don't care. Um and I really don't think it's as much of an issue as people are making it out to be. It reminds me of anytime like a social media company changes or especially something or like YouTube. changes its terms of service slightly to update something, and there's something in there about how you give them the right to reproduce and share your content, and they're like, that means that you don't own your content anymore. It's like, no, that means that other people who have other computers can get you give them the right to watch your videos. Like,
Right.
that's how that works. If
Yes.
you
That's how
didn't give
YouTube
them
works.
that right,
Yes.
you're not transferring ownership.
No.
You're transferring the right to
It's
display your videos to
it's like a
YouTube, which is
license.
exactly
Yeah.
what you want to do. That's what
It's
you
like a
want to do.
it's like a license. Yeah. If you upload a video to YouTube, you still own the rights to that video. It's still
Mm-hmm.
your video.
And
But YouTube
yeah,
has basically, like I said, it's basically you're granting YouTube a license to distribute it, is what it,
mm-hmm.
and to profit from it if it's monetized, and to share that profit
So
with you.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So, shall we watch the
Sarah, I
episode?
hope everything's okay. Yeah, since you
Yeah,
said you
sorry
had
you
to
can't
go,
stick around, Sarah. Glad you could stop
but you
by at
can watch
least.
the stream later, and if you decide not to play Wordle until a little bit later, then maybe you can kind of quasi play it along with us.
Sure. Absolutely. And yes, Azalea, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight is from Batman.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, and
It's the
it's
it's
said
it's
by
the Joker.
the
It's the
Joker.
Joker's catchphrase.
Yeah.
You ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yep, it just goes to show you how full of himself he is, because you're right,
I
it
always
doesn't really
ask.
mean anything.
I always ask that of all my prey. I just like the sound of it.
See, exactly. It doesn't mean anything. It's pointless. Like
All
so
right.
many other things.
Shall we
Shall we
watch the
watch
episode?
the movie?
All right. So once again, just to make sure everybody's on the same page or at the same spot, we are watching The Way of the Warrior, and we're watching the second half of it because Azalea, I don't think it means anything.
He likes the sound of
And
it, literally.
he likes the sound of it, exactly. So we're watching the second half of The Way of the Warrior. So if you have not done so already, make sure that you pause it at 42:53. And yes, that is according to the Paramount Plus version that Dana and I are watching. Someone mentioned earlier that Netflix's time code is a little bit off, but it is the black in between the fade out after they realize that the Cardassian fleet has set course, or that the Klingon fleet has set course for Cardassia. And then the fade in after we push play will be Cisco talking to his staff in the their version of the observation lounge, I think. But anyway, so 42:53. Dana, are you ready?
I'm so ready. I
All right.
hope that Paramount Plus is.
Me
255
too.
AD, yes.
All right, I'm going to count us in from 3. I'll do 3, 2, 1, play. Everybody hit play when I say play. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
It's really weird though, because it doesn't start with the beauty shot.
Because we're starting in the middle.
Yeah, I know, but it's weird. Not misses, just it feels weird. I've gotten used to it. I've grown accustomed to the space. That's what Kirk always did. Choose the third option. Nicely done. Little.
Hmm. 255 AD, yes, of course Garrick knows this is deliberate. Yeah. Garrick ain't no dummy.
A 255 AD, how could he not know? He says, I already have your measurements. Take them again. I might have lost some weight.
And for your information, I just took an order for a man's suit, so there.
And I make them. I don't just alter ones that somebody else made, okay? I'm an
Yeah.
artiste.
Okay. I'm a designer.
Thank you. I do like books. John Collins.
That's an understatement.
Kira's
But
hair
it's
looks
good news.
fluffier than it used to.
Look who's a big shot. Yes, Gowron, aka Crazy Eyes Killer.
Everybody loves his
Yeah,
eyes.
they're his most distinctive feature. This is before Ale. Will Worf choose the glory? Worf, you've just been standing there for the last 3 minutes.
Love lifts you up where you belong, where the Klingons fly
Oh,
through the
nice.
Cardassian sky.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Uh huh. Thank you, Worf. And you're asking me to break my word.
Yeah. 255 AD, I always imagine that when the show picks up right where it left off before the commercial, I'm like, so they've just been standing there for 3 minutes. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live. Man, Schwarzenegger should play a Klingon.
I will
Seems like
have
I've been there
honor.
before. Ah, there you go.
Ah! Shoot, I ain't seen much of this and I still knew that one.
Gowron's like, boy, you know, I'm a Klingon, but you really swallowed that fucking honor bullshit, didn't you? Jeez.
Personal honor.
Can't I just drink my prune juice in peace?
Do you remember the time?
I'm trying to be serious here, Miles.
Details, details. Gasp. Yep.
Well, I mean, they're going to greenlight
Tap
another movie at
dance.
some point.
Vilcata, he does have nice full hair. Well, full hair anyway.
My son. Oh, my son. Right.
Whoops.
John, the next Ask Away live stream is this Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern.
And if you're a patron, turn in a question.
You're one of the good Klingons, Worf. Correction,
You're not
you're
like
the
other
good Klingon,
girls.
Worf. Worf is a special Klingon.
Right, but does he pay for it?
Dude, we're adding your name to the credits. Cut the shit, dude. Cut. Sucker.
Yep, definitely fluffier.
Oh, yeah.
Soft music.
Yeah, thanks for saying that because before you said that, I was definitely going to try to get killed. But now that you said don't get killed, I'm going to try to not get killed.
There you go.
I think she likes me. She expressed a wish that I not die.
Sometimes women do foolish things.
and get those eyebrows under control.
So much. Yes, yes. It's a lot. What if I don't think I will?
255 AD. I mean, if there was a good story involved, I'm not inherently interested in that. But if there's a good story, yeah.
Either it works okay or it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Or it doesn't. Hey, Pedro.
Oi, Pedro. Como vai?
Yep, that's wreckage, all right. Oh, I guess you got used to the cloak already, huh? If there are survivors, there won't be for much longer, so relax. Help!
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Hello, Uncle Bacon.
Hi, Radical Bacon. Told you.
Radical Bacon, you can do Wordle with us.
Yeah. Oh, messed up. Oh, I hope you liked seeing Pat Tallman, everybody, because that's it for her. Yeah, fuck him up. Yeah.
Well, Worf, glad I didn't accept your thingy bob
I like it
resignation.
when Worf kills people. Kyle 3000, I have no idea because you've been watching Night Court. Blow
Kill
up
them
the other Klingon
all.
ship.
Kill them all. Radical bacon, you're absolutely right.
Funny and appropriate. How big is the council? Damn. Bye.
Come on!
Later, suckers.
Excuse me.
You are excused.
Philip, yeah, but I
What?
I I, I don't know.
It's one of my favorite Dr. Bashir moments. I think one of my favorite things, one of the first signs that Julian was actually a good guy, even though he was a little bit of a scumbag in season one, is that if you pay attention, he always has nothing but disgust for Ducat. Like he makes
Internal consistency, Steve.
he never hides his just absolute disgust for Ducat. Holy shit, what? Never mind. Oh, it's grapefruit flavored.
Is are the shadows around his eyes usually that dark?
I don't think so. Maybe he's had a long day. Kill them all. Dun dun
Hop,
dun.
hop, hop, hop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That tea there, battle stations. That back of the mouth tea. Well, hopefully we wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. That was nice.
Oh yes. Suli, no, Klingon opera was mentioned a few times in TNG.
With this thumb.
Yeah. The Samoan
That's from
spike.
Ratatouille.
Boy, talk about a ham off. I mean, there ain't no scenery left in that hallway after those two are done with it.
Ow, my arm! I'm not a prop!
Stop
Stop
chewing
chewing
on
on
me.
me! What do you mean risk?
Mr. I love the ads. I like that. Remember, everyone, don't kill Worf on accident. He's on our side. We've upgraded our special effects. Whatever that means. I sounded bad.
It means I'm chewing.
Vilcata, yes, we've
Dun
upgraded
dun
our plot
dun!
armor.
Pew 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 pew!
Looks like they hauled a couple of old Klingon ships from TOS out of mothballs for this one. Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
Whoa! She keeps getting fluffier! Holy Moses!
Yeah. They'll keep killing Klingons, I guess. Nicholas, yeah, this is the first time that we've had a fight, like a space battle scene of anything like this in the show. Yeah. It's really the first one of these in Star Trek, period, with this many ships and this kind of scope.
Kaboom!
Whatever they're saying must be important.
Nice flip.
Yeah. Klingons, the greatest warriors in the galaxy, who are so easy to kill.
Nice jump there.
Yeah. Well, at least the Klingons got a few guys. Damn.
Ah, the two-handed punch!
Yeah. Yeah. Cisco kicking Klingon ass. Yeah. I mean, obviously, the good guys have to win the fight, but the Klingons are just comically easy to kill. I mean, they're like the fucking battle droids in episode 1. Like there's just no there's never a moment where it seems remotely plausible that they're going to win.
Hi, Mr. System 96.
Hi, Mr. System 96. Well, that was easy. We won in literally like 2 minutes. Dramaturg, that's a good point. Maybe they're right. They have been in peace too long.
They're out of practice.
Yeah. Who needs 2 kidneys?
Forget.
Later, suckers. You know, they're a lot, the Klingons. They're just a lot.
Ain't that the truth? It's only just begun.
Morn is the first one back in the bar. He just goes plowing through the door.
Dun dun dun.
What do you think of Worf's purple PJs there? Huh?
Jimmy's!
Hey, I still don't accept your resignation, sucker. I was cast as the lead in the series.
She's still dead. Saw that coming. I mean, one might think all of them.
Final Worf. Don't ask what that means. O'Brien is such a kiss ass.
Yep. Having women's trousers.
Women's trousers.
Dun dun dun.
Bum bum bum. The end.
So
So, what did you think
overall,
of
I liked it.
Worf's big debut?
Yeah. The that was good. The last, I don't know, minute of the episode was like, beat, you get a beat, you get a beat, you get a beat, everybody gets a beat.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So other than that, I liked it really well. I
It.
will
I
say.
mean, it's interesting in a lot of different ways because like you can tell that for a variety of reasons because Michael Dorn was joining the show as Worf, because they had obviously juiced the special effects budget for this episode. You know, the story was a little bit more epic than usual. Like they were hoping to draw in a bigger audience than they typically had. So
Mm-hmm.
this episode almost plays a little bit like a second pilot, you know, with like the
Yeah.
reintroduction
Yeah.
of characters and especially that, you know, like you said, the bit at the end where everybody gets a beat and it's like, oh, there's more adventure to come, folks. The Klingons are
The
still up
Klingons
to,
are
you know,
here.
yeah, you know, so it really feels like a second pilot, which is weird because it's like the fourth season. It's a little late for a second pilot, but you
Well, but
know,
I mean, you don't want to do a second pilot right away. You like let it go for a little bit, like, okay, we're ramping back
yeah,
up.
yeah. Um, what did you think of the vaunted root beer scene between Garrick and Quark?
I liked it. Just the I like the introduction of the root beer as the turn in the scene because up until that point, Garrick is just putting up with Quark,
Yes, clearly.
and and that shifts slowly, and he's like, "I get me, you get me," and
Yeah.
it so
Yeah. I like it because I mean, as you probably saw in the chat while that scene was running, like for a lot of people, and a lot of the reactions in the chat are representative of the broader fan base. Like it's considered by a lot of people to be like their favorite scene from the series and one of their favorite scenes from a Star Trek show, period. And what I really like about it is because like it's easy to sort of criticize the length of the episode for me, the fact that it is a double episode because I mean they did that because they wanted it to be an event. They wanted it to be like a
yeah.
big deal that Worf was coming and you know they wanted it to feel epic. Um and but in this case the fact that they did that like the fact that the episode is longer than a typical episode uh is probably the whole reason that that scene exists because
Yes.
if you think about it, it's a scene in an episode that is not super character driven
Mm-hmm.
between two characters who are not all that important to the story of that episode.
Right.
And that scene goes on for a while. Like that's a decently long scene
Yeah.
between two
They have the
characters just
time
having
for
a
it.
conversation. They have the time for it. Exactly. And if it was like a 1 hour episode and it was this really heavy action heavy plot driven episode, that scene almost certainly would not be there. So it's there because there's space to fill. You know, they need to stretch this out to 2 hours, and that's why we have that scene. And it's a you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's a wonderful scene.
Yeah, because they're not concerned with the plot at that moment.
Right.
I
Yeah.
will say, I think
Yeah.
Garrick is important to the storyline of the episode, not there, but earlier when he comes in and that's how the news
The
gets to the
yeah the
Cardassians.
Taylor
Yeah.
shop, but get the intelligence. Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, Caitlin, I remember, I don't know if it was you, but somebody said that earlier that it got cut in reruns when they had to split
Yeah.
it into two parts.
And to be honest, it's an obvious cut.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, if
because
you're
the
cutting,
storyline
yeah,
still makes sense without it,
yeah. If you're
as far as that
if
goes.
you exactly if you need to cut for time, that's an obvious scene to cut. I would cut it too. I mean, I
Yeah.
still love the scene. Like, it's a great scene. I'm glad that it's in there. But if it was my
Mhm.
job to be like, okay, we need to lose 3 minutes from this episode, well, that scene's gone. Like, because it
There
doesn't
you
serve the
go.
plot of the episode.
Because the rest of it
So
still makes sense.
yeah,
Honestly,
but it
honestly, if
but
I,
it's
if
a
I
great
was
scene.
if I was gonna do it, I would cut out some of the fighting because blood, like you said, they just go down. Nobody fucking cares. I don't fucking
Yeah,
care anyway.
yeah, I don't care.
It gets
Honestly, a
really
lot
repetitive.
I'm the same way. I mean, once you get past the initial novelty of, oh, hey, that's an awfully big space battle. They don't usually do those. Like, it doesn't really grab me. Like, I know a lot of people really, really like the big space battles. And there are a couple more of those in Deep Space Nine. I know there's at least one more really big. I think it's in the last episode. There's like a really big space battle scene in like the series finale. And I think there might be one more at some point between now and then too. But yeah, they've never been my favorite thing either because it's like we talk about when we
I
talk about
meant that and the hand to hand fighting both. They're just
yeah, well,
so repetitive.
it's like when we talk about a good fight scene needs to have a story, and the space battles in this episode. Well, the one where Worf uses the tractor beam, to kind of deflect from the ship while they're beaming the survivors off. Like that's kind of clever. That sort of elevates that scene. But the big
And it
shoot 'em up
also
at the end,
establishes Worf as as strategically good.
yes, yes. But the big shoot 'em up at the end there, where they're just blowing each other up, like
Yeah.
that
Who
doesn't really
cares?
do much for me. And yeah, the Klingons beam onto the station and they just all immediately get killed. And there's not really an internal story in those scenes. So it doesn't really play as riveting television. It's just like, oh, okay, and now here's the Klingons, and now it's time for them to kill them. Okay. Um,
As Norman says, I wasn't talking about Garrick not being important to the series. I was talking about him not being important to the later part of the plot. Like once he's gotten the message out to the rest of the Cardassians, then
yeah.
that's his role. That's his role in the plot.
His role in
Um,
the plot is done at that point. Yeah. Yeah.
and then I what was the other thing?
Oh, and 255 AD, thanks for the super chat. It says Cisco agonizing about firing a shot that might massively escalate a war plays different for me since the Ukraine war started. Yeah, that's understandable.
Um, and I'm yeah. When Caitlin said they actually did lose a few minutes of the fight to make room for it,
Yeah.
they were even longer. There was more. What? No, thank God they had the. You know what, Steve? Now I really appreciate the root beer scene
Yeah.
because I don't.
Well, I mean,
3 more minutes of them just like trading
the
batleth hits.
the fighting and the space battle, especially the last space battle, for me it's a case of, oh, okay, I get the point. You know what I mean? Like,
I
it's
got
not
the
that it's
point,
bad. It's not that it's bad. It's just like
but there's
it
no
doesn't.
story there.
Yeah,
There's
there's no
no story
story.
there.
There's no story in the individual scenes. And like I said, especially with the fighting on the station, it's so hilariously one-sided.
Yeah,
Like
like
they
Kira went
yeah.
down. They could have knocked her out, like not killed her, but they
Yeah.
could have taken her out. They could
Yeah.
have taken
I
her
mean,
out.
you know
And
what I love about it?
especially early on, Worf's coming in. You don't necessarily know that everybody's sticking around.
Right.
That would
That's
have been a
true.
great,
That's true. And
especially
well,
since she's such an antagonistic and hot-headed character, and
and
Worf could fill that role.
that's true. And fans might be thinking, well, Worf could become Cisco's new first officer. Maybe that will be how they
Exactly.
make room for Worf in the show. Yeah. So, but
But
yeah, and I
it
love
feels
that
more like it was just
Kira's
like, oh, we're being awesome. Yay.
Kira's the only regular character that actually gets hurt in the fight, and it doesn't even matter. Like, she gets stabbed in the side and the fight's over and Cisco's like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like,
It's like, what's the point?
it's like, what? She's the only shot that the Klingons actually landed. It doesn't matter. She's fine.
Doesn't
So
matter.
yeah,
She's okay. Yeah, 255 AD.
25
I
AD.
don't know about that, but Worf. I mean, I just figured all Klingons were like that, but I and the ones who didn't, who view honor as a status thing, I thought they were the exception, but maybe not.
Yeah.
IDK.
I think it's a fair comment. I think it's mostly a function of the fact that Worf is a main character and the other Klingons we see are guest characters, but Worf has been
Their
has
honor
been,
serves the plot.
yeah, Worf has been depicted as unusually honorable. You know, like he cares about doing things that are actually the right thing as opposed to what looks like the right thing or what will get people to view him as honorable. He doesn't care about that so much. He cares about actually doing the right thing. Um, Fat produce, I did not notice that. The Star Trek Generations Enterprise D space battle music being reused for the final. I did not realize that. I didn't catch it. Did Dennis McCarthy do the score for this episode? I didn't. I don't know off the top of my head, and I'm not sure if he did or not. But if somebody knows,
When you
because
say y'all,
yeah,
I'm just honored to be part of the y'all because like I'm gonna know.
because
Nope,
Dennis
I
McCarthy,
didn't notice nothing, y'all.
because Dennis McCarthy, I know Dennis McCarthy wrote the score for Star Trek Generations. I don't know if he scored this episode of Deep Space Nine as well, but if he did, then reusing that bit of the score would make sense. Although they could reuse it anyway because they own the music, but it would make particular sense if it was Dennis McCarthy going, "Oh, I wrote a piece for Generations. It will be perfect here," you know.
Snake Big Cat, I'm gonna pretty strongly disagree with you because weeaboos are like they're not Japanese. Like, I mean, the intense adoption of the culture, yes, but the reason he's intensely adopting that culture is because like that's his heritage.
Yeah,
So there's
he
a
is
that
actually a
and that's
Klingon.
a
Yeah,
big difference.
yeah. Thank you,
Oh, okay.
255 AD. Good night. Um,
Yeah.
I know what Fat Produce says. It was Dennis McCarthy who scored The Way of the Warrior. So there you
There
go.
you go.
There's your.
Ta-da. He's like, hey, I got this. Got this.
Um, so shall we
Speaking of
play
which,
Wordle?
let's
Yeah.
go for it. And
So
and Radical Bacon, you can help us out instead of just like trying to hold back and not give too many hints.
exactly. Okay, so before we close up shop, we're going to play Wordle. The way this is today's Wordle from the New York Times. The way we play it is Dana is going only by my description of the Wordle board, even though everybody watching the video right now can see the Wordle board. Dana does not actually see it. She's only going by my descriptions. Um, if you have not played today's Wordle and you want to play along and make suggestions or guesses in the chat, we welcome that. Let's play this together. But if you know the answer, if you have solved today's Wordle, please do not give the answer away. So, shall we begin?
Let's go for it. Although
All right.
I want to respond to Caitlin. Yes,
Okay.
I can believe that. That's also Gene, Steve. We were talking about. I mentioned that another teacher uses it. Gene Yang's American-born Chinese.
Yes, we talked about that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same idea in ABC. It's like it's a slam against them for not being really of their heritage, not because you're only, I mean, it's like Half-Blood, so
Yeah.
not really keen on that. So yes, I realize that Americans are not the only bigots out there.
Yay.
Okay,
All right.
so start off with Heart, and wow,
Heart.
if it's Worf, I'll just be really.
Won't that be nice?
The A would be in the right place, and the R.
Well, I got news for you.
Oh, are you kidding me?
There is an H, and the A and the R are there, and they are in the right place.
Are you kidding me?
I am not
and
kidding.
And there's the H in the right place?
No, the H is not in the right place. So the H could be the second letter.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. That is hilarious.
But yeah.
Let's see if anything comes up for Lions. And if nothing comes up for
stick with Lions,
then I'll guess Worf will be our third guess.
Lions, Lions. Nothing comes up for Lions at all.
Oh my goodness. Try Worf.
We might as well try it. Let's try Worf. Hilarious. Let's try Worf.
Oh, come on, New York Times.
A-R-F.
Come on, New York Times.
Okay, it's not Worf. But H-A-R are in the right place. So there's no W, there's no F. Though. Yeah. So, but yeah, the second letter is H, the third letter is A, and the fourth letter is R. So There we go. We're still in good shape.
Hmm. So it wasn't hard, but it had the same vowels, so it's along the same line. Well, I'm very
Yeah.
curious. A mathematical. I'll see if I can maybe look that up. Okay. So
If the first letter is C, what could it be? It couldn't be chart because there's no T. It could be charm.
charm. That's what I'm thinking. Let's go for charm.
Charm? CHARM. Charm. No, it's not charm, but it is C.
So CHR something.
CHR something. Could it be charred?
That's
That
what I was
Swiss
thinking. Hang
chard?
on though.
Okay.
That's the only other thing I can think of that fits.
Yeah, me too.
No, it has it, David. It has the C. So
Yeah. The green
CHR.
letters are in the right place. So
Radical bacon CHARR is the word char just has one R. So yeah.
You want to try charred?
Yeah, I guess so.
CHARD.
Wait.
Charred. That's it.
All right. I would not
Chard.
have thought that that was a word on its own. I've like, yeah.
Well, it's like a
David,
vegetable, right?
that's when I was wondering. I was no, it couldn't be CHARE because we had heart and there was an E in heart
Right,
and there
there
was
was
not
no-
an E there. So
Yeah.
so yeah. Well, that
All right,
was
good
that
job,
was a
everybody.
bummer, and it was hilarious for a little bit, but
We
bummer
thought
that
it might be
that
Worf.
yeah, I know that would have been really funny. Oh
Got our
well,
hopes
it
up.
still definitely made for an entertaining game.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, shall we close up shop?
Yes, let's. Philip, I was just like, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I'm like going through the alphabet. I'm like, nothing works. All right, let's go for chard. That one, I think there were a couples. All right.
So, let's remind everybody to watch your YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dana Coldares, and also your Patreon, patreon.com/Dana Coldares. Let's remind everybody about the charity links, charitylinks.page, linked in the description to help out some folks who need a helping hand. If you have a few
because
spare
helping
bucks,
people is good.
helping people is good. Also, don't forget about my Patreon, patreon.com/Steve Shives, to become a patron and support my channel. Or you can also click the join button to become a channel member and support the channel that way.
And if you do, don't forget to send in your question, which I also need to do.
Yes, because this Friday is Ask Away, and patrons and members get to send in questions ahead of time that I will answer first thing on the stream on Friday. So there you go. Next week on Trek Reluctantly, we're watching Poirot. We're watching Poirot, Agatha Christie's Poirot, and the episode is 4 and 20 Blackbirds.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So we'll be watching that next week. And then the week after that is the episode of this series I have been waiting for since we started.
Okay, well, at least I liked this one.
2 weeks.
I liked this one.
Yes.
2 weeks. So there's
2 weeks.
There's at
we're
least
watching The Visitor.
Some hope that like I won't let everyone down.
You won't be letting anyone down if it just so happens you don't like it.
I might not be letting you down, but I am sure that I will. I mean, Sarah, at least. Sarah will get on my case.
It will probably break Sarah's heart. It will crush her.
Do you realize how tempted I am to like sneak a peek so that I can like plan my reactions and act like I like it in case I don't?
No, you don't have to do that. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Oh golly.
But that's not next week. That's 2 weeks. Next week is Poirot.
Belcana, next week is Poirot. An episode getting in the. You know what? You can just go watch The Visitor every day on your own. You don't have to wait for us.
That's true. It's available.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I don't already like
and
it so much.
and also don't forget tomorrow on this channel, you can watch Dana and I do a special bonus video as part of our First Timers and Favorite series where we talk about the movie The Lion in
Lion
Winter.
in Winter.
Yes.
And you can leave comments about how disappointed you are that I like that so much and I don't appreciate DS9 enough. Snake the cat.
Let's not.
Yeah,
let's
you know
not
what?
get-
You know what? You know what, y'all? You know what? You could just leave me fewer comments than the pittance that I already get.
Wow, bitter. It's just all coming
He gets
out.
so many comments because he's a professional YouTuber and he
We
does
haven't
videos
even.
all the time.
I love how this is all coming from anxiety about maybe you won't like one episode of Star Trek. Like,
As much as no, maybe I won't like it as much as everyone. I certainly will not like it as much as everyone else does. There's just no way, guys. I'm not as enamored of it as everybody else is, and I'm so.
that's fine. No, that's completely okay.
I may not. I need to go to bed because I read Norman Buchwald's comment as "Don't Dana wait, please wait." I may not live to see it, but I want to see your reactions. I was like, "Wait, what? Are you okay?"
Right.
And then I checked it. I'm like, "Nope, you're okay. Okay." Phew! I was really worried there, Norm, for a minute.
Chris Sears, glad you could join us. First time catching the live stream. I hope you come back.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Well,
I just make sure you come back in 2 weeks to watch me really stress out and suffer.
You know what's going to be great is if you're watching the episode and for whatever reason you're just really not liking it, just to watch your face to be like, do I show it? Do I hold back?
Yay!
Well, it'll be especially fun because I don't know if you know this or not. You really don't have much of a poker face. Like you.
That is absolutely not true. That is so not true.
Okay. If you are aware of it and you are trying to have a poker face, I think you have a poker face. But if you're just watching something and you're just reacting how you react, like it's fairly obvious how you feel.
I'm very evocative.
You were very evocative. You're very expressive.
I feel my feels. They're just.
You're very expressive. So,
yes.
So it'll be fun. Hopefully you will like it. But like I said, that's not until 2 weeks from now. Next week is Poirot.
Oh gosh! Yay! 2 more weeks of anxiety,
and then it'll be over.
After that, though, I can be like, okay, I'll just accept that whatever the reaction to the visitor was, nothing else is going to live up to it. So okay, that's what you get, y'all. Now you know. After how many years we've been doing this, now you know.
Yeah, Norman, good point. I don't think you whatever it is. You're not going to be as pissed off about it as you were in your reaction to Keiko's teaching episode.
We honestly, if they
because
really
you took that personally, I think.
Yeah. Kidding me? What? No. If you really want to see me suffer, first of all, we could do a live stream watching apparently just the beginning of the Temple of Doom.
That's true. We talk about this in the Lion in Winter video that goes up tomorrow. This was like last year. We planned to do a video about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And the plan was we'll watch it together and then we'll talk about it and make a video of us talking about it. What it turned out, the plan was we're going to make a video about Temple of Doom. What we did was we made a video about the opening credits of Temple of Doom because that was all you could stand to watch.
No, it wasn't. I don't think I finished the credits.
I don't think we actually made it through the,
They were in the car.
Yeah.
Ah.
To each their own.
Nope. That some things, Steve, should not exist. Honestly, I also get pissed off about the Harry Potter movies, and people talking about which teacher, like comparing the teachers. I'm like, they all suck. They all suck. Professor McGonagall is a bad teacher. Okay. And that's even not even not even considering Rowling. Like, it was bad even before that. Oh, oh,
Vilcata, I think you're going to have to just find that video and watch it because
oh, golly.
my
Did you want to?
answer is my answer is nothing. But Dana obviously has a very different view of it.
No.
I like Temple of Doom, including the intro. I think Temple of Doom. I actually
Ah.
think Temple of Doom is a good movie. But
You,
Kane 20C, the next episode of Late Seating. Well, the one that we just recorded this past weekend that comes out this week is Predator. So
you like that pretty well.
yes, I did. We all did. And that's actually it's a special episode of Late Seating because Jason's brother Mike sits in with us. So then that was really cool, and we all three got to review Predator, and it was neat. And I don't want to spoil anything, but we all liked it.
Okay,
So
and
that's it.
oh, just for the podcast.
Just for the podcast, we all liked it. Oh, Drama Dork, I agree. I love Temple of Doom. See, I'm not by myself.
I believe you. I understand that it was, financially successful at the box office.
I
So
do think, as I think we said in that video, I do think of the original three indie movies, it's probably number 3 for me because I mean, Raiders is a
whoa,
classic.
probably.
Wow. Raiders is a classic, and I love Last Crusade, and Last
It's
Crusade is
great.
like the perfect ending for that.
It's
What should have been the
brilliant.
perfect ending for that series. So I would
Please.
have to put Temple of Doom in the number 3 slot, but I do not think it is a bad movie. So
Yeah, Fat Produce. That's really not anything in Temple of Doom's favor. Like, okay, so Steve,
yes.
I think you might actually, though, you didn't particularly like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, did you?
No, but I didn't hate it. I wasn't as hard on it as a lot
Okay.
of people were. But I
Okay.
don't think. I mean, yeah, it's clearly inferior to the first 3. Yeah.
Um, but it's no Moulin Rouge.
Oh God, no. Oh, I hated Moulin
I
Rouge.
like Moulin Rouge, you
No,
guys.
there's yeah, like we said after I watched, like there's not a second of Moulin Rouge that I liked. It was just unrelenting badness from beginning to end. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't.
I don't know if we
It's
could do a
one.
video about that because I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't think. Uh well,
Happy
happy
birthday, Caitlin.
belated
I'm sorry.
birthday, Caitlin.
I meant to do it earlier when you mentioned it, but we got off talking about other stuff. But yes, happy birthday, Caitlin. And explain
Oh,
your
so
necklace.
there we go. So this was made by a former student of mine for me. I commissioned it. So this means that authority should be kept within strict boundaries. So that's what that means.
Yay.
Yay. And he does a lot of work with gemstones, but I was like, so you do it like he does wire work around them for the setting. I was
Yeah.
like, do you do, because I have a couple of his other pieces, do you do anything that's just wire work? And I was like, here you go. And he did it. That was really cool. Um, oh, Caitlin, the others are so much better than Crystal Skull. I promise you. So much better. Oh, gravy. Hmm.
So shall we?
So,
So
let's
shall we
wrap that
wrap
up.
things up?
Oh, one last thing. Fat
Yes.
Produce. Not so much the Home Alone soundtracks, although I would have to go back and listen to them again. They remind me the Harry Potter always feels like it's ripping off the Hook soundtrack to me. Very
Yes.
strongly.
Yes.
Very strongly.
I
It
agree.
ticks me off
I agree.
because Hook, I love Hook as a movie, and I love the score, and I really associate it very strongly. And so when there are the parts of the soundtrack in Harry Potter, even when I because I did like the first movie a lot before things went far deep south. But that was something that really took me out of it. That was really a disappointment.
Yeah.
So So
Speaking of Hook, it's almost time for wrestling. I don't know. I don't know if Hook is wrestling tonight or not, but um, I hope so. I like Hook. I like Hook a lot. But anyway, um,
all
yeah,
right.
they're on. It's both John Williams did the score for Hook and for the Harry Potter film.
Yeah.
It's
But a lot
he
of
just
like
he borrowed from
his
himself.
yeah, I know,
He
but
was
like
his own inspiration.
Jaws and Star Wars and Forrest Gump all feel
Yeah,
very their own thing. So, plus he's John Williams. Like,
yeah.
you know, if you can't come up with something new, just pass. Like, you don't need the money, dude. You don't need
Let
the money. If
another
you don't
let
have a new
another. Well,
idea,
but it was. I mean, it was Spielberg. You know.
hey, John, hey, John, hey, John, hey, John, and E.T. Hey, John, hey,
Well,
John.
I mean, it was probably more like you want a big truckload of more money, John.
Well, I mean, that's not, I don't know. I guess it's digital, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just like, if somebody asked me if I wanted a big truckload of more books, I'd have to be like, can you give me a couple of months so that I have some place to put them? But if
Can't
they actually
spend
brought
books.
like,
Can't spend books.
well, no, that's why I said it's probably digital. Just like it's not actually a truckload.
It's not an.
But
They don't. It's not a. Not nowadays. It's not an actual Brinks truck that they back up to your
yeah,
house. Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to worry about the space so much.
No.
But
No.
although, and if somebody was like, do you want a lifetime subscription to JSTOR? I'd be like, yes. Of course, after they offered me a lifetime subscription to JSTOR, then I don't know what else they would offer. To the NY Times, I'd be like,
Okay.
give it to somebody who cares.
Okay.
All
End
right,
of
for
show.
real now. You got
For
wrestling
real.
to watch. It's so important.
That's true. That's true. So thanks everybody for joining us. And hopefully you'll watch our Lion and Winter video that goes up tomorrow. Hope you like that too if you check it out. And we will see you back here next week for Poirot and 4 and 20 Blackbirds. So
There we
bye
go.
everybody.
Bye.